The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. Let us go, then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon the table. Let us go certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels, and the sawdust restaurants with oyster shells, the streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent. To lead you to an overwhelming question, oh, do not ask what is it. Let us go and make our visit. In the room women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes. The yellow smoke that rubs its muscle on the window panes. Licked its tongue into the corners of the evening and lingered upon the pools in the stand of drains. Let fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped into the terrace, and made a sudden leap. And seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once around the house, and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time. There will be time. Time, prepare to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create. Time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you, and time for me. And time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 revisions and revisions. And taking of toast and tea. In the room, women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. And indeed, there will be time to wonder, do I dare? And do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair. With a bald spot in the middle of my hair, they will say, how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest, but asserted by a simple pin. And they will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. For I have known them all already, known them all. Have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. Oh, how I should presume. And I've known the eyes already, known them eyes. The eyes that fix you with a formulated phrase, and then when I am formulated, sprawling on a pen. When I'm pinned and wriggling on the wall, and then how should I begin? To spit out all the butt-ends of my days and ways? And how should I presume? And I've known the arms, known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare, but in the lamplight downed with light brown hair. Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Arms that lie along a table or wrap around a shawl. And should that I presume? And how should I begin? Shall I say, I've gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out windows? I should have been a pair of ragged claws, scuttling across floors of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evenings, sleep so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers, stretched on the floor here beside you and me. Should I, after tea and cakes and ices, have the strength to force a moment to this crisis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, but though I've seen my head grown slightly bald, brought upon a platter, I'm no prophet. And here's no great matter. I have seen a moment of my greatness flicker, and I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. And in short, I was afraid. It would have been worth it, after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me. It would have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards something of an overwhelming question. To say, I am Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all, I shall tell you all. If one settling a pillow by her head should say, that's not what I meant at all. That's not it at all. And it would have been worth it after all. It would have been worthwhile after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets. After the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor. And this, and so much more. It is impossible to say what I mean, but if a magic lantern threw the nerves and patterns on the screen, it would have been worthwhile. If one settling pillow throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window would say, that's not at all. That's not what I meant. At all. No! I am not Prince Hamlet. Nor was meant to be. Am an intendant lord, one that will do, to swell a progress, start a scene or two, advise the prince, no doubt, an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse. At times, indeed ridiculous. Almost at times. The fool. I grew old. I grew old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind? Do I dare eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I've heard mermaids singing, each to each. I do not think that they will sing to me. I've seen them riding seaward waves, combing the white hair of waves blown back. When the wind blows and the water white and black, we have lingered in the chambers of seas by seagulls and sea girls, wreathed in seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us. And we drown.